What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and let's talk about it. Sunderland versus Arsenal. To be honest, I didn't watch much of the game. I only saw the later half of the game itself. I was out doing my own things, of course. But, anyways, I watched the highlights from both perspectives, from the Sunderland and from Arsenal, and saw overall the reactions of how people reacted overall from an Arsenal point of view, especially. And seeing online, I think the general feeling is pretty, I would say, pretty balanced, but maybe slightly leaning towards more of a disappointment that the points were dropped, especially in the manner of how we so-called lost the game, or how we dropped points, and that we started very poorly in the first half, and then the second half it was a lot better. So in the first half, that we conceded from a set piece, well, lo and behold, that we conceded from a set piece. It was more of a situation where Declan Rice wasn't really on his P's and Q's. He wasn't winning the first header, so that was really poor of him. And also, that's how the former Arsenal player Dan Ballard smashed it in from close range in the top corner. That made sure that Sunderland capitalized on the 1-0. So after half an hour of playing, we trailed 1-0. It wasn't a good look, so we probing and trying, but the chances didn't exactly fell to the right people in the box as well. We had a chance of Saliba, which I saw later on as well, and so we went to in halftime as a 1-0. You would think that you need a reaction from the boys, and you would find out how good is Arsenal when we are trailing behind, when the chips are down. We're playing away. It's difficult. Um, Things are not seem to be working. So how do you actually react from it? And from the general consensus of what I've seen online, the second half was a lot better than the first half, because there was a reaction. There was high press. Um, there was a bit more of the input, the emphasis to score a goal. We had the chance of Zubamendi, and eventually, from the high press, that Declan Rice rectified his mistake from the first half. He made sure that he won the ball high on the at the pitch of or in the half, should I say, of Sunderland, getting the ball, playing it down to Marino, and he laid it off to Saka with a near post finish. And the game is on. From there, you would think, okay, this is what we're made of. This is what we're made of. If we call ourselves the so-called title contender. So you're gonna have to have these games and to dig deep and to win these games eventually. So we had chances, we had them on the ropes, they were on the back foot, defending and everything else like that. And so eventually we got a deadlock broken by Kung Fu Panda, I should say, or Leandro Trossard. Was a very good goal. Was an amazing overlap and run by Calafiori, which created the space for Trossard to tuck inside and to finish it. Like it would have been the goal of the month, to be honest, because that was a really nice goal. It was against the it just came out of nowhere, and he just rifled it in the top corner outside the 18-yard box. So that was a really good finish by Trossard. And of course, you think from there, okay, cool, we need to set up shop, or we need to look at possible changes. I did not see the whole game in the second half, of course, but from what I've read online and what people think, that it could have been more adjusted, that players were tired and Arteta could have done something different, and he didn't really made a lot of use of his substitution. So it invited more pressure onto us, which gave the allowance to Sunderland to come forward to us, and then we had to scramble things away. You saw a couple of moments where we were scrambling, putting in saves by David Raya, and that didn't sound well. That didn't seem to look like we were composed in the last half of the third, or in the latter stages of that half. So we were actually digging deep to feel safe in that lead, to not concede. And so when you do that, you invite too much pressure, and that pressure could actually overcome you. And that's how we actually got punished by in the last minute, and we got haunted. We got it was a great goal by Brian Brobby, who's on loan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at Sunderland, and his first goal to score. And what a goal it would be, for his confidence. So Shout out to him. Shout out overall to Sunderland. They made it life very difficult. It was not a team that you can just roll over. Many teams are going to come to that place, that Stadium of Light, and lose or even drop points. So you got to give credit where credit is due. So we were defensively not switched on when it's normally the case that we are. So, but yeah, we just paid for it and we just dropped the point. So when I'm looking at it from that point of view and looking at the highlights, I'm like, this could have been better. That could have been better with the Raya situation where he just came out of nowhere, where there was no need to come out when there was a defender already there. And that's a lapse of concentration that you kind of need. And the thing is, with these goalkeepers, when they are called to do something, they need to be spot on. And for all intents and purposes, David Raya has been superb so far, but it's just these moments that could cost you. And unfortunately, we had to pay the price for it. So we dropped the points. And, it is also looking at the grand scheme of things, looking at the whole context, that we drop points at a time where we're not supposed to be dropping points, especially when Liverpool and Man City are going to be playing each other. And either team that's going to be on top is going to have the momentum with them, saying like, okay, we're back in the race, we're back in the race, climbing for that number one spot, closing the gap with the points. And it's going to make things a lot more difficult after the international break, because we're going to have some couple of games that are going to be difficult, with your Bayern Munich, Tottenham as well, and it's going to end up very very difficult. But hey, we have to deal with it. That's why you have a squad. And luckily, on the bright side of things, even though these difficult games are coming, we're going to have players back from that international period, and we have a much more of a wider selection to play, to use in our arsenal, so to speak. So there are positive signs. There are also negative signs. We should have done better. Arteta should have done better. Honestly, just let me know down below what you guys think. Is this cause for concern, or is it something that we shouldn't be overreacting about? Just let me know down below. Um, Hope this international period came in the wrong time as well. You do want to recover back from a so to speak loss or a points dropped situation to bounce back quickly, but unfortunately we have another international break. Hopefully the players come back unscathed and we have more players to select from. You have Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard, Kai Havertz. Hopefully Gyökeres will be coming back, Madueke. All these players, when they coming in back into the fold, we're going to see what Arsenal is made of when we are in full strength. And with the games that are coming, we will be tested to the limit. So let me know down below what you guys think. Do we overreact, or do we just move on? This is what champions do. We don't make sure if you can't win the game, make sure you don't lose the game kind of mentality. Where do you stand on this? Just let me know down below. And thank you very much for watching this. Peace.